naval platforms, ships, combatants.
What if China could block the U.S. military from accessing the Pacific Ocean with a single move? What if the vast waters that once symbolized American dominance turned into a stronghold of Chinese control? This isn't science fiction, it's happening right now. Welcome to China's Anti-Access/Area Denial Strategy, or A2/AD, a bold plan to reshape power in the Pacific. At its core is the Missile Wall, a lethal network of advanced missiles ready to challenge the United States like never before. Imagine this: U.S. aircraft carriers, symbols of unmatched naval strength, avoiding unseen threats. Bases in Japan, Guam, and beyond, trembling beneath the threat of precision strikes. This is the new battlefield, a high-stakes game where missiles could determine the future of global security. Why does this matter? Because the Pacific isn't just an ocean, it's a chessboard where superpowers clash, and China is making its move. In this documentary, we'll explore China's A2/AD master plan, examine its deadly missile arsenal, reveal U.S. vulnerabilities, and show how America is fighting back. We'll also look at the ripple effects impacting the region and the world. By the end, you'll understand why this missile wall isn't just a military strategy. It's a power move that could change the way warfare is fought. Ready to see the Pacific like never before? Let's begin. China's A2/AD strategy is a modern take on a long-standing idea. Keep your opponent out. Anti-access/area denial is about shutting the door on enemies, mainly the U.S., before they can even enter the fight. It's not about invading, it's about controlling who can operate in China's backyard, the Western Pacific. Think of it as a no trespassing sign strengthened with firepower. Historically, denial tactics have been used for centuries. Castles had moats, and navies used blockades. But China's approach is next level. It's a high-tech shield that combines missiles, radar, and satellites into a system designed to stop U.S. forces in their tracks. The goal: make it too expensive and too dangerous for America to intervene in places like Taiwan or the South China Sea. The missile wall is the core of this strategy. It's not just a single weapon, but a collection of precision-guided missiles, each with a specific purpose. Short-range missiles defend the coast. Medium-range ones cover the first island chain, like Japan and Taiwan. Long-range systems extend toward Guam and beyond. Together, they form a layered defense, a gauntlet that no fleet or air force can easily breach. This isn't happenstance. China has combined these missiles with advanced technology, including over-the-horizon radar, spy satellites, and electronic warfare tools. They detect targets quickly and strike powerfully. The outcome? A barrier that compels the U.S. to reconsider every move. Analysts refer to it as a kill zone, where advancing means facing a hurricane of strikes. China didn't develop A2/AD overnight. It learned from history, such as Soviet anti-ship tactics, and built upon it. Today, it's advancing with hypersonic technology and AI, making the missile wall even more difficult to penetrate. This isn't just defense, it's a message. China's asserting the Pacific isn't yours anymore. And this is a challenge the U.S. can't ignore. Meet the DF-21D, the missile that keeps U.S. admirals awake at night. Nicknamed the Carrier Killer, it's the world's first anti-ship ballistic missile.
Tensions are rising in one of the most hotly contested regions on the planet, the South China Sea.
Designed to sink aircraft carriers, America's floating fortresses. With a range of 1,500 kilometers, it can strike anywhere in the Western Pacific, from the South China Sea to Japan's doorstep. What makes it terrifying? It's not just fast, it's smart. The DF-21D uses a maneuverable warhead that adjusts mid-flight to hit moving targets. Paired with China's satellite and radar network, it can track a carrier in real time. One hit could send a $13 billion ship and thousands of sailors to the ocean floor. That's a game changer in naval warfare. Then there's the DF-26, a weapon with a 4,000-kilometer range. Nicknamed the Guam Express, it can strike U.S. bases like Guam, the Pacific's military hub. This missile doesn't hold back. It carries either conventional or nuclear warheads, giving China options and keeping adversaries guessing. Its range is a key advantage. From mainland China, it can reach the second island chain and beyond, threatening the U.S. projection of power. The dual warhead feature adds an element of uncertainty. Is it a conventional attack or a nuclear one? That unpredictability forces the U.S. to prepare for the worst every time. These missiles aren't lone wolves, they're the teeth of the missile wall. The DF-21D neutralizes nearby naval threats. The DF-26 extends the danger zone outward. Supported by China's command systems, they strike with precise accuracy. Collectively, they turn the Pacific into a minefield for the U.S., demonstrating that China's not just developing weapons, it's establishing dominance. The first island chain, Japan, Taiwan, the Philippines, is America's front line in the Pacific. It's filled with U.S. bases, Okinawa's airfields, Taiwan's defenses, Manila's ports. But here's the problem. They're near China, within reach of missiles like the DF-15 and DF-16. These short-range weapons can strike quickly, leaving little time to respond. Take Taiwan. It's a political hotspot and a military target. China's missile buildup, hundreds aimed across the strait, could overwhelm defenses in minutes. Japan's bases, hosting 50,000 U.S. troops, face the same threat. One salvo could destroy runways, ships, and command posts, crippling America's ability to retaliate. Moving out to the second island chain, Guam becomes the key focus. It's the U.S.'s Pacific stronghold. Andersen Air Force Base launches bombers. Naval base, Guam docks, submarines. But at 3,000 kilometers from China, it's within reach of the DF-26. A strike here wouldn't just damage hardware, it could disrupt America's entire Pacific strategy. Guam's isolation is its Achilles heel. Remote from reinforcements, it depends on air and sea connections, links that China can cut with missiles. If Guam goes silent, the U.S. loses its staging area, leaving allies like Australia and Japan vulnerable. That's why the Guam Express isn't just a nickname, it's a warning. These vulnerabilities aren't secrets, they're calculated risks. China's A2/AD exploits them, turning U.S. advantages, forward bases, carrier groups, into liabilities. The reality is harsh. Hundreds of missiles targeting just a few high-value sites. For the U.S., defending everything means stretching resources thin. Losing any key asset could be catastrophic. This is the Pacific trap China has set. The U.S. isn't standing still. First up, missile defense. The Aegis system on Navy ships can shoot down incoming threats. THAAD, deployed on land, takes out missiles in their final approach. These aren't perfect. China's salvos could overwhelm them, but they buy time and save lives. Then there's offense. Hypersonic weapons, traveling at Mach 5+, could pierce China's defenses. They're difficult to track and even harder to stop. The U.S. is racing to deploy them, aiming to flip the script. Make China worry about its own vulnerabilities. It's a tech arms race and the stakes are sky high. Large bases are prime targets, so the U.S. is going small and scattered. Distributed operations mean more mobile units. Think drones, submarines, and rapid response teams spread across the Pacific. No single target can cripple the mission. It's like fighting a swarm instead of a giant. The archipelagic defense concept extends this idea. Use the Pacific's islands as a network of outposts, each one a thorn in China's side. Increase resilience with hardened bunkers and quick repairs so bases like Guam can sustain hits and keep functioning. It's not foolproof, but it's a solid start. The U.S. isn't acting alone. Japan is adding missiles, Australia is joining AUKUS, and the Philippines is opening bases. This network distributes the burden, making China's plans more complicated. Adaptability is crucial. If the missile wall blocks one door, allies can open another. It's a long-term strategy, and the U.S. is committed to winning. China's missile wall isn't just a U.S. problem, it's rattling the entire region. Japan is strengthening its defenses, watching China's moves in the East China Sea. South Korea is adjusting its missile defenses, cautious about escalation. The Philippines, situated between China and the U.S., is undergoing rapid modernization. Australia's response is bold, deploying nuclear subs through UKUS and developing long-range missiles. These nations aren't just scared, they're bolstering their arsenals. China's A2/AD strategy is fueling a regional arms race, turning the Pacific into a tinderbox. Is stability slipping away? It's unraveling, one missile at a time. Looking at the bigger picture, it's a U.S.-China showdown. America has dominated the Pacific since World War II. China aims to take its place as the leader. The missile wall is a strategic move, limiting U.S. influence and increasing China's power. The U.S. responds with advanced technology and alliances, but it's a delicate balancing act. This isn't Cold War redux, it's even hotter. Hypersonics, AI, space tech, both sides are racing. A misstep in the South China Sea or Taiwan could trigger conflict. Experts say it's not if, but when, tensions will boil over. The Pacific is the prize, and neither side is backing down. The fallout is global. Trade routes through the Pacific carry trillions. A disrupted region means economic chaos. Alliances shift. Europe's watching, India's arming. China's missile strategy isn't just local. It's a move for global influence. The lesson? Power today isn't just ships or planes. It's missiles and will. China's A2/AD and its missile wall are redefining the rules of modern warfare. With missiles like the DF-21D and DF-26, China has turned the Pacific into a contested zone, revealing U.S. vulnerabilities and prompting a strategic rethink. The U.S. is responding with advanced technology and tactics, but the balance of power remains in a state of flux. This isn't just theory, it's happening now. Regional tensions, superpower rivalry, and global stakes all revolve around this wall. Want to understand modern conflict? This is the front line. Enjoyed this deep dive? Hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more sharp analysis. The Pacific is heating up. Stay informed.